What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG's back. It is time for a brand new transfer talk video. And the main topic of discussion today is the return of Jack Harrison. And we're going to have to speak about that. Also going to give you a couple of updates on a couple of players that you guys have mentioned to me in the comment section. So stay tuned for that. So let's just get straight into this. And guys, I just hope that this is the final summer I have to mention Jack Harrison, Patrick Bamford, or Eli Melier. 49ers Enterprises, please give me that. But Everton did send this out yesterday, and they've sent back a whole host of loanees back to their parent clubs, which it does include Jack Harrison. But more telling is that they are trying in talks to try and keep one of them, which is Charlie Alcaraz, who's on loan from Flamengo. So it does show you that they are trying to keep players that they deem worth valuable to them, and Jack Harrison isn't one of them. Now, I can already see a name in there that I can see some people already typing, hey, Cage, what about Broja? Could he do something for us? I'm going to give you the quick answer. No, he's injury prone, and these are his stat lines for the last few years. Everton, 10 matches, no goals, no assists. Fulham, 8 matches, no goals, 1 assist. Chelsea, 1 goal, 1 goal. And this is probably what you remember in the season at Southampton where he scored 6 goals, but that was a very long time ago, people. So the answer to that, and hopefully I've saved you some type in there, is no to Broja. But going back to Jack Harrison, there was always just a little slight chance that Everton would take the option to buy him. They haven't done that, so now he's back to being Leeds United player. But for me, that's a red flag straight away. Straight away, because when you're looking at the table, Everton finished 13th, which is, good for them. But unless they recruit, they're going to be back fighting relegation, because Man United, by the way, have already made moves. I think they've signed Cunha. I think that's going to be completed. They're also going to sign Mbeumo. They're doing talks to sign Mbeumo from Brentford, which would be a sensational signing. But that's what I'm saying. They're trying to make moves to make sure they don't finish 15th again. And the fact that Everton, who finished comfortably in the end out of the relegation zones, didn't see Jack Harrison as an integral part of that tells you everything. The fact that they haven't taken him off our hands to make our hands weaker, in a sense, and take him away, that speaks volumes straight off the bat. Another thing I could say about Jack Harrison is, what if I came on here and said to you, hey guys, I've got a player for the first team that can give Nonto Ramazani and Dan James competition. He scored 4 goals and 3 assists in the last 2 years. Does that sound good to you, people? Because that's Jack Harrison. And he literally got 3 of those last year. And the 1 goal is this season. Guys, there's nothing about Jack Harrison. Usually I can claw a positive from any player. Usually I can. There's nothing about Jack Harrison that is positive for this football club. Everything about Jack Harrison in our second stint in the Premier League, he embodied that. Inconsistent, frustrating, not good enough, ballless as well. There's just nothing about him that I want. The coaches tried him in 3 different positions to make it work. Left wing, right wing, through the center. Didn't work. He'd still be inconsistent. Give you 4 good games, missing for 10. Every time with him. And the thing is as well with Jack, one thing I will say in his defense is that the Leicester move was foul. How that was all played out very publicly as well. You've got Radrizzani doing the right thing, selling him, but then the 49ers in the background saying, no, keep him. That was the wrong move, and I'm sure the 49ers regret that one today. But that's the only thing. But then he comes back off the back of that, signs a new contract, obviously speaking to the boys, knows that there's a loan release clause in a lot of their contracts and says, I want that too. The club give it him, which is on the club at that time. They give him that loan release clause. And this is something that people forget. When he left on loan, people, to make sure that he could get out the door and didn't have to see championship football, because this was the best avenue for him to get out, he left while he was injured. Okay? This is something that people forget this. And this is the beauty of being Jack Harrison is, because it's not spoken about enough just how much potential this guy had at one stage and how he's fulfilled none of it. He's so lucky that he's so low-key, out the public eye. No one cares about Jack Harrison, so he can go about his business. Other players who would have had his potential level at the time when we signed him and to where he is now would have been crucified. But he can get away with it because he's just quiet Jack Harrison. Beautiful thing sometimes in football. But yeah, he's now 28 years old, and he's clearly not a Premier League player. He won't help us in this league. I guess the one positive people would say is he knows the club. If he knows the club that well, he should know that he's got no business being here. It's as simple as that. He doesn't give you anything at all positive There's not one thing with Jack Harrison, and he doesn't displace any of our current wingers either. So the thing for Leeds is to move him on. He cannot play here. And listen, people will be talking about his mom's comments and everything else, and even his comments when he left in the first year. Football fans are very fickle. He'll come back in pre-season, and if he's still here, if he scores a goal against Wakefield, people go, "Ooh, Jack Harrison, maybe he could still give us something." Football fans are very fickle. I recently seen it with Trent. Liverpool fans in the end did give him a warm, exit, a nice send off. But the vitriol he got for just moving is incredible. But then in the next breath, what I've seen online after is Curtis Jones. They want to send him on the first thing packing. What about Boyhood Club and all that? Doesn't it count for Curtis Jones? No, it's football fans, isn't it? Football fans, very, very fickle fans. But that's how it goes with that. People also point out the similarities between Jack Harrison and Brendan Aronson. There's no similarities for me. Brendan wasn't here that long. Jack Harrison was ingrained in the football club. He was learning under the tutelage of Bielsa, and he didn't move in that way. You know what I mean? Again, I don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about for the people that do care about that stuff. He was here longer. Not should have known better. You're always going to get players that want the best for their careers. That's why I can't go against what he did in terms of leaving, because he's looking out for himself in his career. But it clearly hasn't worked out because Everton have said no again, and that should give you a red flag. So I'm hoping I'm hoping he does have suitors this summer. But if Leeds United need to kick this can down the road and just send him out on loan with a view to a permanent move elsewhere, whether it be MLS, whether it be somewhere else, because he seems to be okay with moving around, then so be it. But all I know is that when we hit this Premier League season and week one, if he is in the squad, then we've recruited all wrong, because he shouldn't even be on the bench. And it really is as simple as that for me. Cut and dry for me. He doesn't have the character, he doesn't have the bottle for this football club, and he does need to go. And that is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion and you've got some actual weight behind it where you feel that Jack Harrison could be a useful player, and by the way, he can't play wing back before anyone says that. We tried that in preseason one time and he got absolutely torn to shreds. Again, these are things that people forget about Jack Harrison and just his inconsistent ways. I don't want to see him put another crossing into the crowd and then looking at the sky. The trademark Jack Harrison, look towards the sky. I just don't want to see it again, people. So please, Leeds United, do everything you can to move him on. If there's a PSR hit, try and make it as minimal as possible. Like I say, if it has to be a loan with a view to permanent move, just kick the can down the road. But he cannot play Premier League football for us, in my opinion. Just a couple of updates, because listen, Emmanuel Emegha was someone that I was going to mention as well, but a couple of you did mention him in the comments, so salute to you. But that is going to be a no-go. Fabrizio Romano reported this. Chelsea are planning a potential pre-agreement for Emmanuel Emegha to join in summer 2026. There are no chances for the striker to leave Strasbourg this summer. He'll lead the line in Europe as a key part of the project, and Chelsea like him as an option for the future. And what that is, people, is because Strasbourg are Chelsea's sister club, so they're going to have basically first refusal on him, and it sounds like they do want him for next season. So we're going to have to cross that one out. But yeah, he looks like he's got like real good potential, had a real good season for Strasbourg, real good skill, real good eye for goal, and they're looking to develop that. And it looks like Chelsea are going to get the benefit of that. And that just goes to show as well. We talk about USG's partnership with Brighton, the Belgian club that just won their championship, by the way. I feel like Leeds need to go into that and go into Europe with a partnership like that, so we can benefit from it and also send some of our better youngsters out on loan for them to get first team experience too. So hopefully Leeds United are exploring that in the future. And one other one, because a couple of you have mentioned him in Troy Parrott, the ex-Tottenham Academy youngster, out in AZ as well. Got 14 goals this season, but he has on the record said that he does want to stay at AZ for another year. Obviously, things change in football, and if the price is right, then he could move, because AZ do have a price tag on him though, but it's £25 million, people. So I don't know if that's something that Leeds United would even explore. I know he's had a couple of good years out in Holland, but is 25 million? I don't know. I feel like that could be better spent on a couple of other strikers, or maybe one other striker and a something else. But basically, I'm just giving you an update for Troy Parrott. Says he wants to pledge his future at AZ, but AZ do have a price tag of 25 million if anyone wants to meet it. So people, that is it for the video. I hope you've enjoyed the update. Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video before you go, and salute to all members of the channel. Thank you for that support. It really does go a long way. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Till the next time, Peace out.